Hi, and welcome to a Sacred Foundations. This is our June card pull and oracle reading. Welcome. We're so grateful to have you here. Remember, sharing is caring. So if you know somebody who would find benefit to this, please share with them. Yeah, we love what we do. I'm Julia Frehner with my good friend and companion in this, Jill Chesrow. How are you today, Jill?
I'm awesome. Very excited for this reading. May was very intense, and I fell back on the reading for May often to kind of be a guidepost for me and help me align with my sacred foundation. It was very helpful for me personally.
Yes, me too. And this one, so we pull the cards right before we jump on. So we spend time together, we set sacred space together, and we sit with each other in this sacred container, and then we pull the cards. And I have to say that June's, it feels, I feel it in my heart so strongly, this pull this month. And so, yes, and I'm with you. May was really intense. Mercury's about ready to come out of retrograde, so it's kind of stationary right now. So I'm feeling the love of this card pull today. So yeah.
Yay. All right.
You want me to go? Yeah.
Well, hold on. Give me 1 second and I'll pull up the images online for everybody, but I just want to remind those who are new to the monthly card reading for Sacred Foundations, the overall intention that we set before we pull the cards is what information is beneficial for all those watching this video, whether they're watching it in the month of June 2022 or whenever you come across it. It's meant to be at this time and yet timeless at the same time. So the intention is for what is most beneficial and important to be aware of as you deepen or develop your own sacred foundation on your journey to your fullest alignment with your true essence. So it's there to work with and work consciously with throughout the month. So we invite you, as we pull up the images of the cards, we use what is called the Cross of Truth card spread, and we'll talk a little bit about what each position means, but there's a basic theme of the month, and then maybe hopes or fears about that theme, and then there is helpful energy, potential obstacle energy to be aware of, and then just the last card is kind of like the answer, outcome, advice card that you read in conjunction with everything else. So Julia and I are going to each give our own interpretation of the cards as we go through the reading. Take what resonates with you, but we're going to give you a second as we pull up the cards and just pay attention to what jumps out at you right away. So if you don't already have a journal handy, pause this video, grab your journal, because you're really going to want to know, what's the first thing when we pull up the cards? What do you notice? What words do you see? What colors do you see? What images? And just start jotting down what it means to you right away. So we invite you to listen to the wisdom that we bring forth. However, we are not ever in replacement of your own inner wisdom, which might just come flooding through for you. So always trust your own insight and wisdom that comes through for you. All right. So big reveal. Ready? Drum roll. Oh, so beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
All right.
And I'm always so grateful to you, Jill, because I get to this point and I'm like, it's flooding me. It's coming in for me, the insights and the information, and I get super excited to just start sharing. And so thank you for bringing me back to that grounding point of my sacred foundation to pause and be with. So thank you for that. Mm-hmm.
All right. So you wanna start?
Yeah, I can go first.
Okay.
Right. So the first card is the present situation, and that would be the mother blessing card right there. Jill's kind of just doing that. This is such a lovely reminder to turn back, to come back to that place of divine love, the place of the great mother, And to me, the Great Mother is Mother Nature, the goddess Gaia. It's that returning. And I think at this point between spring and summer, and actually some people say that because the first day of summer is, or the solstice is midsummer, that we, from Memorial Day into that point, from this past weekend to that solstice, that we're coming into summer. We're actually, this begins, the beginning of summer. And I love how this card beckons us to return to the Great Mother, seeking her blessings. And this is such a lovely time in the Northern Hemisphere for that. It's summer, it's spring, I'm looking out my window right here, it's lush and it's green and there's so much growth and abundance. And this card has some flowers in it. The one mother is holding a bouquet of flowers. We've got the crown. She's shrouded. They're all shrouded pretty much in white. This card really speaks about nature. And coming back to that blessing, the present situation calls us back to what grounds us, to remind us that we are in this beautiful body, that we are part of Earth. And something I want to read by the artist who created this is, and know that this is going to tie into the rest of the reading, but it says, may you learn to trust your heart and share it willingly. May you know who you are and give guidance and love to those who search for themselves. And may you be woven into the tapestry of your life. And I think that is incredibly beautiful, because all of what Jill and I do is about weaving your sacred foundation. And nature asks us to weave ourselves, to root ourselves deep into her. And I think as we move forward in these coming times, to come back to that, or when you come across a wonky time, to remember to root yourself well and beautifully into the greatness of the Great Mother, of Mother Earth. Know the women in your life who hold compassion and can hold sacred space for you. That's where you turn to. Come back to these readings, because I can tell you, I know my heart and I know Jill's heart well enough to say, when we offer this, we are holding those that come to this container. I know our prayers, the beautiful prayers that Jill offers in the beginning. These are the areas, the arenas, the sacred foundations that you can come to and know you're held, you're grounded, we got ya. Mama Earth has you. So returning to that great mother blessing, the blessing of those women that hold you. The second card is breath awareness. And the second card is our hopes and dreams. It could also be our fears. And I love that this one is about breath. Part of returning, especially if you're, part of returning is to return to the breath. So if you have a hard time really doing a grounding practice or getting grounded, or to refocus, coming back to the breath, witnessing that inhalation and exhalation, witnessing the quality of your breath. I say often, there's in the scriptures, the Bible, the Hebrew text, it says, breath is life, that God breathed the breath of life into them and they became a living being. Breath is life. And I believe that breath mimics life. So if we're depending on your own quality, it's based on how you breathe. This more shallow and short that you breathe, often you find that the more shallow you're experiencing your life. But the fuller, deeper, richer we breathe, the fuller, deeper, richer our life is. I know this is true for me. And breath also has an effect on our nervous system. So when times get wonky, or when we're scared, right, that breath takes away and we begin to breathe really fast and shallow, that fight or flight kind of breath. But when we can come back to our breath awareness and breathe fully and richly, allowing a full exhalation as much as we are an inhalation. That can calm the nervous system, that calms the parasympathetic nerve, that brings us back into the ability to ground into nature, into our grounding practices. So our breath is so important. And if we're feeling things in the body, to take a moment and breathe into those areas. It's meditative. It does take a little bit of work, but to breathe oxygen into the areas that are wanting attention, breathing life into them. And remembering that breath, the inhalation is breathing it in, and the exhalation is a release, a letting go, as well as is a detoxifier. And our breath is tied to nature. Nature gives us oxygen and we offer back. So there's that whole cyclical motion of that as well. The helpful energy is the restore card. And the thing that's really popping out on this card, it happens to be my card. I just have to say it. And I was surprised when she came up today. And I have a whole backstory, but I'm not going to go there, why it's so important to me. But I really want to bring attention to her heart space, which is, it's blackened right there. But the dove, the white birds, are bringing all of the pieces to be restored. And the helpful energy here is saying that while we may feel broken and shattered and fragmented, we still have all of our pieces. Never forget that you are whole and complete right where you are. And returning our fragmentations is a return to the Divine Mother, to the Divine Feminine. It's finding that compassion within and bringing our heart back to that Anahata, that unstruck place, the place where you have always been loved, always have been loved. That flame has never gone out. You are always have that light of the divine spark. That incredible love light has always been there. And that's really helpful. And you can kind of take this backwards. That's helpful to remember that you are that love light, that you are divine unconditional love. Bring it back to your breath and then ground yourself into the Great Mother. The obstacle card is the love, and I can't say the word. And Jill, I'm going to let you, when you share, I'll let you share the word in front of love, because I will tongue tie it. But I love that love is both the helpful energy and the obstacle card. And notice that both of them are green. Both of them are all about that heart space, which is the Anahata, which is the green chakra. If we're going to associate colors with the chakras, it would be the green one. And that love is both the obstacle, it could be the obstacle, but it's also the helpful energy card. Everything comes down to love. Love. Come back to love. Come back to that Anahata, that unstruck place. And then the outcome is the trust. And in this card, I don't know if you've noticed, if you look at the card, there are several images that look like hearts to me. And to see the compassion, to see the love. When love is present, unconditional, unstruck, always there, divine love, we can then trust being in our bodies. We can trust our awareness of our breath and our depth into the divine Great Mother. And that weaving comes together. We are our trust. We have to trust that we are on that path, that we are going that direction, and know that our love can go deeper and deeper and deeper, and that light can expand and expand and expand within us. This is just a heart-filled card pull this month. It feels incredibly beautiful, filled with love. So thank you, Jill. I can't wait to hear what you have to say, what's coming in for you on this, this read.
Yeah, that was like super beautiful, Julia. Really beautiful. So remember, take what resonates for you, because oftentimes what will happen is Julia will pull certain insights in. I'll pull insights in. A lot of it will overlap, but some will be more pertinent to some people, and other stuff will be more pertinent to others. So just kind of look at it from that perspective, and not, wow, that's contradictory, because different things are important to different people at certain points in time. So, all right. With the Mother Blessing card, pretty much everything Julia said was just, what I was feeling as well. To me, also, this card is very, there's just a sacredness and a reverence for all life with this card, and this honoring and the supportive energy of the Divine Mother is in this card. So that is just a really nice base theme for this month, is to remember that you are supported, which I feel shows up in the last card as well. But then also that there is this sacredness to life, even when sometimes it feels anything but that. The second card with the hopes or fears, what I see in this card, and please remember that my background first and foremost is as a healer, first as a registered nurse, and then as a multimodality energy healing practitioner. So oftentimes I'll see healing aspects illuminate in the cards. So with this breath awareness, I love her position. You see how she's so open here, and she's looking up again. There's that deep connection to the sacredness of life, whatever that looks or means like for you. So the hope is, for most people, is to have that deep connection with something that is a higher aspect, whether it's a higher aspect of you or the divine, whatever that looks like. There's that connection. The last card for the month of May actually was the connection card. So I see a lot of connection energy in here. And sometimes as we move from month to month, there's a little bit of a relationship. So you can see how you can expand it. So if you loved the month of May and you felt more connected, but maybe still not as connected as you would like to be, then this can show you a little bit of where you might be out of connection, or how you can deepen your connection as you deepen your sacred foundation. So there's that openness there with the breath of life. So I want you to just think about that openness. So the next card with restore, everything again, Julia said, and there is that restoration, because when we are more restored, we are in greater alignment with our true essence. So the universe and the message in this card is that there is this healing. And remember, healing is not in place of meaning that it's a cure or in place of licensed medical care. Healing is a return to wholeness. So I love your imagery, Julia, because every time you explain this cards to me, I just get deeper and deeper insight. So I don't think I ever paid attention to the fact that the heart was necessarily black, and that the doves are bringing those pieces in. I love that. It's such a healing energy to it. Now, when we go to the obstacle card, which is, I believe, no pressure there, thanks, Jules, in case I say it wrong. I believe it's pronounced Aroha, and it's a Maori or a Maori word. The creator of this card is from New Zealand. So the card in and of itself, obviously, is about love, but also she talks a little bit in her interpretation of the card about new beginnings. So as an obstacle, I'm seeing the energy of forgiveness, because forgiveness is often associated with the heart chakra, or lack thereof of forgiveness. So the question that I would invite you to contemplate and reflect on is, are you open to forgiveness? Whether it's forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others, where are you on your forgiveness journey? So if there is any unforgiveness that you need to look at, this would be a great month to do it. So within the obstacle, there's also the healing is available here. So I want you to know that this is not like, oh, great, now I've got forgiveness work to do. Colin Tipping, who has since passed away, but Colin is the creator of Radical Forgiveness. You can get a whole bunch of free information online about radical forgiveness. Is just a beautiful way to really deepen forgiveness in your life if there's a person or a situation or event that you're having trouble with. But I want you to also be aware of, sometimes we start to build walls around our hearts. And we do this because it serves a purpose at the time, and it's a protective thing. But that wall starts to crush the heart. And as you are growing and expanding and opening up to more love, that wall then becomes uncomfortable, and you are ready to start releasing that wall. So in the body code work, we talk about the release of a heart wall. So this openness card, this breath awareness card, and this opening, if it's right in the middle of the two, is really how can you open your heart? So I want you to reflect on that in your journal and in your meditation time. Is there anything that you need to be aware of for you to open your heart and allow the energy to just come in and expand? So that brings us to the last card of trust. And again, I really see support here in this card. So, and again, when people forgive each other, or when there's forgiveness, then there's that coming together. And I see that in this card. So even though I see also support and gentleness and trust, I also see forgiveness in this last card as well. So really opening up to forgiveness, releasing your heart wall, staying in that sacred space is going to be very beneficial for you. So what does sacred space even look or mean like for you? Where might you need more nurturing in your life, or where might you need to be more nurturing? So those are some questions to reflect on. The other thing I want to add is the intention when these two decks were created. We didn't mention it if anybody's new, but the decks here, they're Awakening to Your Divine Self is the first deck. And then the second deck is, oh my goodness, where's the top? I don't know.
I got it.
You got it? Okay. Oh, it fell on the floor. Thank you so much. Priestesses of the New Earth. That's the second deck that we use in the Sacred Foundation readings at this time. But when these cards were created, one of the overall intentions was that the artists would be bringing through the sacred medicine that they are here to share in the world. So the cards in and of themselves carry an energy essence to help return to wholeness, which again could be another name for healing. So the cards and the messages from the artists themselves, there is a healing element to them, even just the visual of it. And the last thing I want to add is the color of the borders. The graphic designer that helped pull the deck together from a visual perspective, he's a super awesome guy. And he's super, super intuitive. So he really felt into the energy of the cards and then would give the border that carried the energy of the card, and then also, made it visually appealing to the eye as well. But it's no accident that these cards have green borders here. It's no accident that this is related to the throat chakra here. So solar plexus here. So, pull in as much of the color significance as makes sense to you. But awesome, awesome card. I do want to just say one more thing, and I can't remember where I heard this from, but as far as forgiveness goes, it's a prayer of, please help me forgive all those who have hurt me knowingly or unknowingly. Please help me forgive myself for all those that I have hurt knowingly or unknowingly. And please help me forgive myself for anything that I have done knowingly or unknowingly to hurt myself. It's actually not exactly how it goes, but I think you get the essence of it. So just really move into that forgiveness place and love and accept yourself for who you are. We are all doing the best that we can at any given point in time. So just take a nice breath. And I think we're ready to wrap up, Jules.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jill. Thanks for pulling in the colors too, because that was coming out as you were saying. Like I found it really interesting that the purple was the mother blessing, and then around trust is the red, and so we've got and then the green in between. This was perfect. Thank you, sister. Appreciate it.
All right, so we will see you again mid-month because we do, Julia does an intuitive meditation. And while she's doing the intuitive meditation, I will do frequency work to help support all of us on our journey. It helps clear, release, harmonize, and expand the energy field for greater alignment with our sacred foundations and our true essence. Anything else you want to add to that, Julia?
Oh, just enjoy this reading this month. Tap into that love. So thank you, Jill, very much. Thank all of you for showing up and doing the work that you do in the world.
All right. Bye, everyone.